Hi friends, welcome to episode 123 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadira Tani. I'm coming to you today from my home in Central Florida, and excuse me. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thanks for coming to hang out with me again. If you are a new viewer, welcome. I hope you find something that you enjoy. Yeah. I'm not editing because I don't have the energy for that. Today is Thursday, June 4th, I think, and this is my first up day in at least 2 weeks. I have not had the desire, the motivation, or the energy to record. And I think that out of those things, that list of things I did not have, the desire was very high on that list of reasons why I didn't record last week, and why I almost didn't record today. But when I got up this morning, I felt a little bit lighter than I had been feeling. As you all probably know, it has been a very heavy and difficult time for the Black community. And I'm the kind of person that feels things very deeply. So I don't even know how to express to you how these days have felt. But I think the most appropriate statement, as well as the most understated, is I'm tired. And I'm tired of I'm tired of people being surprised by this, if I'm honest. I'm tired of people being surprised by this. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the fact that people can still get educated about racism. But it is what it is. And that is the world that we are living in, where some people can still be educated about racism instead of it being a part of the things that you learn when you're growing up. You learn that things like this exist. You learn that, I don't know, it's all of it sits right here on my chest, and I feel so many different things that I cannot put my finger on. I have been feeling like, to say that I'm feeling down is a gross I was feeling down is a gross understatement, but I couldn't identify what the feelings were. Like, you know how sometimes if you're experiencing a downswing or whatever, you can say, okay, I am feeling angry right now, or I am feeling disappointed right now, or I am feeling hurt right now, or I am feeling this or that or the other. It was like, and it gets like, there is a crowd in my head and I can't hear any of my thoughts. And it's just really, really overwhelming and really, really heavy. And it just gets to be a lot. And that's the space that I was in the last couple weeks. And then on top of that, having to show up for work and still being new at my job. So I'm still learning things, still being trained in different things. And to have to work in kind of an environment where it's just business as usual, it's a lot. But I am very grateful for my friends and my family who have been, like, we've been checking in on each other. And I know for sure that if left to my own devices and if left in my own head, I would not be able to claw my way out of there. So I just am so grateful for my friends and family that have helped keep me afloat. Today is the first day that I feel like I took a full breath. And I told my mom today that I laughed at something I saw online and was conscious of the fact that I hadn't laughed in a while. And that kind of realization is crazy, you know? But what can be said that best describes? What can be said that best describes? So, that is why I have not posted. I haven't been active on Instagram or anything just because I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like being, which is frustrating on one hand, because in the different spaces that I interact in, a lot of them are heavily white. So the fact that I am in those spaces and that I interact in those spaces and that I engage in those spaces, it is a presence, you know? So I was getting frustrated with myself because I didn't have the desire to show up in these spaces. But then at the same time, I was just like, nah, I'm not. And I've been processing through a lot of feelings, like the feeling of knowing that I have been, active and sharing. And I think my podcast is like 3 years old and change or so. I think it's 3. I don't know. But knowing that I've at least been consistently here for 3 years, and it takes an act of injustice or a tragedy for people to feel like this is something that I want to share now. I'm not knocking people whose reaction to these things are to like share their favorite black makers. That's great. But what I would love to see is that kind of thing just happening regularly, where it's not Black History Month, or it's not a time where there has been some new great injustice to the Black community, where people feel like, oh, yeah, let me share Black people with everybody, because we've been here. We've been in these spaces. We've been sharing awesome work. We've been here. So just like we share our favorite things on a regular basis, I would challenge you to not only share your favorite black makers in a time when everybody's sharing their favorite black makers, but share us all the time, you know? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But yeah, so I am hoping that this up feeling that I'm having right now stays. I am definitely of the mind that if it can swing up, it can swing down. And if it can swing down, it can swing back up. So I never really settle into whatever I'm feeling as if that's the end all be all of how I'm going to be. So I'm up today. I understand that tomorrow may not be an up day, and that's okay. If it is a down day, I understand that the next day may not be a down day. It may be an up day. Who knows? I just have to allow myself to experience whichever swing my mind wants to go through. Yeah. But y'all, it's tiring. It's tiring out here. So in the last couple weeks that I haven't been sharing anything anywhere, I have been knitting, I have been crocheting, I have still been keeping my hands busy. I have felt, that it's not a super excited energy that I have while I'm making, but just the act of making is giving me something that I can control, something that I can order in all the chaos. So I have a couple works in progress. Oh, lies. I have a finished object. I don't remember if I said this earlier, but I'm not editing anything, and there also may not be show notes. So, finished object. I finished my laid edges socks, and these socks are a pattern by Kelly McPherson, who is My Knitted Wardrobe on Instagram. I have talked about these before, so if you need a link, check the last episode. It's in there. But these socks, smack yourself in the head with it, why don't you, Kalisha? These socks, the pattern is written for DK weight, so they worked up super fast. They are very comfortable. I had to, make myself not wear them because I finished these a couple days before the ill downswing. And so they have just been on the sock blockers hanging on my shelf ever since finishing them. But I love them. They are so beautiful. This yarn is by Chicken Coop Dye Works, and it is the Hen Base, which is 100% superwash merino DK weight. And the colorway is Serengeti Sunset. I love the socks. I love the yarn. It was so soft and squishy, and I just want to wear these socks all the time. The only thing about that is I have dogs, so there's dog fur, and I just don't want dog fur to be all up and through these socks, so I don't know what to do. But I had, the label on this yarn ball said that it was 100 grams. It was more. It was like 115. So I have this little nugget left. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but something will be done. I was kind of thinking of maybe using this for a brim of a hat. But it's going to be used. I did everything to pattern except for the cuff and the toe. The cuff in the pattern, I think, is just a 1x1 rib. I did 2x2 because that's my favorite. And the toe, I actually don't know what kind of toe she wrote into the pattern, because I always do this particular rounded toe that I came up with that fits my feet. Other than that, everything is to pattern. Yeah, everything is to pattern. My gauge was a little bit off, so instead of making the medium size, which would have fit me, like by numbers, I did the small size for numbers and it fits me. The heel flap is the, what is this? Eye of Partridge heel. And that's about everything. I love this pattern. It's a free pattern. You should definitely go and knit these socks. It was the potato chippiness of a self-striping, because you're just like waiting to get to that next cable. And oh, last time I did want to mention that I did all of these cables without a cable needle, and it was pretty simple. I only dropped a cable once, and as long as you stay calm, everything is fine. But yes, Laid Edges Socks by Kelly McPherson in Chicken Coop Dye Works yarn. I love it. Thumbs up for everything involved in this sock pattern. That's my only finished object, I think. Who knows? Whatever. Next we have works in progress. I have 3 projects that I have been working on. One I will show you real quick because it looks the same. I have been making granny squares using Red Heart Super Saver from Stash. This is the Kelly green color, I think it's Kelly green. And then the light green that goes in a gradient, like you can see the difference like that. This is Woolly's Cakes in the Poseidon colorway. So that's what this yarn looks like. Ta-da! That's it. I just make those grannies as and when I feel like it. And I think it's going to end up being a blanket because, yeah, that's probably what it's going to end up being. I'm really just doing that as a keep busy project, just so that I still have something to do with my hands. My next work in progress is a pair of socks that I started a couple days ago, because I wanted to have a vanilla sock on the needles, again, to keep my hands busy. And this is, of course I don't have the label. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Fun. This is String Theory Colorworks in the displacement base, and the colorway is Glucose. The displacement base is 80% superwash BFL and 20% nylon. And this is what it looks like. So this purple up here is Saki's, Lion Brand Saki's, and whatever the purple color is. But this is the self-striping yarn, and this is a whole repeat of the colors. So my friend Jennifer gave me these leftovers. She had 35 grams left over, and they were in 2 balls because I guess she, knit her 2 socks, whatever. 2 at a time socks? I don't know. It was 2 balls, and totally it was 35 grams. So I didn't want to, scratch that. The 2 balls that she gave me were not the same size. So I painstakingly laid out the stripe repeat so that I could join ball A to ball B and the striping pattern not be interrupted. And that's what I did. And then I balled it up together. And I have a little nugget. I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know where that nugget is, but I have a little nugget of leftovers that wouldn't work. So what I'm going to do, and I've done this before. I've done this most of the time. I will do this when I only have one, like a 50-gram skein of yarn, and I want to make socks out of it, and I want to use all of the main color. I'll do, what did I call them? 2-in-1 socks? I don't remember what end to end, but the way that I've done it before, I would knit a toe, and then I knit, like in the contrast color, and then I knit a tube for out of the whole main color, and then I knit another toe in the contrast color. Then you like either fold it in half if you're feeling willy-nilly, or count back and find the middle row, and then you put your needles in it and split the socks as you would a afterthought heel. So I would split the socks, and then I would knit the cuffs, and then I would go in again and put in an afterthought heel in what I would then have as tube socks. I hope that makes sense. I feel my energy leaving. I thought I could get through this podcast, y'all, but so glucose. Now, since the colorway is called glucose, I thought it was only fitting for me to use a little cake progress keeper on here. I thought that was appropriate. I think I got this progress keeper from, who did I get this from? Stephanie? The Tatted Tatter? Possibly. I'm pretty sure. I either got it from Stephanie, the Tatted Tatter, or I got it from Michael's, the craft store. But yeah, so I really like these colors, and I have been doing the whole, I can just get to the next color. Fun fact, let me not do that. Actually, let me show you. So when I stopped knitting on these and put them back in the bag, I put them in the bag like this. Don't do that. Do not be this person. Be this person. Because I sure enough left it with like this much needle out the end of my sock, put it in my bag, living my life all willy-nilly, and ended up snatching a whole needle out of the stitches. It was okay because they didn't go anywhere, so I was able to pick the row back up, but still, don't be that person. Keep your knitting safe. And it's living in one of my rainbow project bags that didn't make it to the shop last year. I don't know what happened to this one, but it was messed up or something. So it became mine. That's what happens when I mess up a project bag from my shop, it becomes mine. I don't have many project bags, so that was a humble brag. Anyway. Oh yeah, I don't know when I'm going to start making bags for the shop again. That's another thing that I don't have energy to do. So, hopefully, that'll come back. Next work in progress is living in my patchwork space bag that I made for my birthday last year, maybe? I don't know. This project is my Ravenclaw tote that I am knitting for my friend Cherie. And I am not a Ravenclaw. I'm a Hufflepuff. And since I'm not a Ravenclaw, I don't have any Ravenclaw pins, but I put a Hufflepuff pin on here, and this one says, "Books are out of this world." And the reason that this makes me think of Cherie is because Harry Potter, and she is the illest book nerd I have ever met in my life. Like, we were roommates after college, and I'm pretty sure at one point she didn't have like, what's the part that goes under your mattress to hold your bed up? Like the bed frame? She didn't have a bed frame. Her bed was held up by stacks of books. No lie. I always wondered, do you just never want to read those books again? These are obviously not your favorite books. But she is a super reader, and she is a delightful person. And I am knitting her a tote bag. So to make this tote bag, I am using motifs from Megan Reagan's Ravenpaw sweater, Ravenpaw dog sweater, and Hogwarts a History sweater. And I organized all of the motifs in the order that I wanted them, and I had to tweak some of the numbers a little bit to get them all to fit. But it's pretty dope. I'm pretty proud of myself. And let me show you how much I have. Ta-da! So the first one is the Deathly Hollows. Then it's followed by Harry's Glasses, the Snitch and the Goalposts, an Hourglass and a Lightning Bolt. And this is the beginning of the crown. Whose crown was that? Rowena Ravenclaw's diadem? Did I remember that correctly? Who knows? Whatever. And after I finish the crown, the last motif is going to be, I called it a raven in the last episode, but is the Ravenclaw's bird an eagle? If it is, I'm very confused. I feel like if it's Ravenclaw, they should be ravens, but whatever. Bird with claws is going on top. And then to finish it out, I'm going to do like 2 gray stripes, like their scarves. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty good size tote bag. I think I have a tote bag nearby. Okay. This is the tote bag that Claudia from Crochet Luna gave me. Courageously Crocheting On. This has actually been like in my head the last couple weeks, trying to be Croatious. Yes, I'm trying to be Croatious. Trying to be courageous. Trying to crochet on. Anyway. Yeah. So it's going to be a little bit taller than this bag. And it's about the same width. Actually, it's going to be a little bit wider because this isn't laying flat. I was thinking about going through my like fabric and sewing stuff stash because I think I have some leather. If I have black leather, I might do like a little boxed bottom to go on the bottom of this bag. If I don't, I might do like a canvas bottom. I'm not sure. We're just flying by the seat of our pants here. But yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good. I am knitting color work with 2 hands. How am I holding them? I'm holding the main color in my right hand and knitting English like that, and holding the contrast color in my left hand and knitting Continental. And I've gotten pretty good at it. I'm very proud of myself. I'm doing pretty good with keeping my tension. This is the first time I've done color work on metal needles. The last time I was doing color work was my Hogwarts a History sweater, and I did that on wooden needles because I was having a hard time maintaining the proper tension. But now I kind of feel unstoppable, not gonna lie. So as is tradition, I guess, whenever anyone knits color work, gotta show the floats, and I'm proud of these floats, y'all. So look at that. Your girl is getting pretty good at this. Like, yeah. I don't know what was going on here, but we're not going to talk about it. Yeah. So I have 1.5 motifs left to finish on here, and then the outside will be done. I need to figure out what I'm going to do for the straps. I don't know what that's going to be. I am going to do a lining because giving her a bag with a bazillion floats on the inside would be very rude, and I'm not that person. So I need to do a lining for the bag. I need to figure out the stripes and figure out what the bottom of the bag is going to look like. But I'm very excited about this. I was trying to keep it a surprise from her, but I'm terrible at surprises, so I took a picture of it and sent it to her. Don't ask me to keep no secrets. That ain't me. The yarn that I'm using is Lion Brand Pound of Love in the elephant gray and navy. Navy, whatever. Yeah. But I'm very happy with how this is coming along, and the level of concentration that I have to knit the color work with both hands and also like follow the chart is just the amount for the energy I had to give over these past couple weeks. And it was nice. I was able to kind of get into that rhythm that just kind of smoothed out my crazy brain and relaxed me a little bit. I'm not going to say relaxed. It didn't relax me, but it helped me breathe, which is necessary. Works in progress done. What is next on my list? I made these show notes like last week, so who knows? Maker plans, I don't have any. Do I? I don't think so. Kalisha and the Babe. We have Kalisha and the Babe stuff, y'all. So, I had been talking about wanting to finish my plastic yarn, and I did. And as you would see, it's plied and not just with itself. So my original plan was to spin this yarn, plarn. I made this out of, I think they're all Winn-Dixie and Publix shopping bags. And I spun it on my spinning wheel. If you're new, I have a Babe fiber garden. I don't know. It's a Babe. It's a single treadle, and it's made out of PVC pipe, and it's the best thing ever. And I got it on Craigslist in Florida. That spinning wheel was meant to be mine. Anywho, so I spun all of the plastic that I had basically shredded up, and I was going to ply it back on itself so that it had the strength of a 2-ply, but was plastic. I don't know where that sentence was going, but I had the plastic single on a bobbin, and I wound it off. I caked it off so that I could ply it end to end. Yes, start at the words aren't bad. You guys, I wish that you could understand, and I don't know if it's coming across in the camera, but when I say I feel my energy leaving, I feel like Captain Planet, and I'm like, my energy is leaving. Like, I don't know, somebody needs to like splash me with water, or like sprinkle some, I don't know, I was gonna say sprinkle some dirt on me. No. How did Captain Planet used to get his powers back? Like, he would get like pollution thrown on him or something, and then like, I don't know, they would like make the sun come out or something, and he would feel his strength returning. Is Captain Planet on Netflix? These are important questions. So I was getting ready to ply this plastic on plastic, and I happened to turn around and look at my bookshelf, which is like a cave of wonders. You never know what you're gonna find on the bookshelf. And there I had this little ball of cotton thread. I think it was not thread. It was kind of like a thin twine, I think, that you would use for like, or that I have used for warping looms for weaving. And I looked at it and I was like, huh, I'm going to apply this plastic with that cotton and that's going to be good. So that's what I did. So it's a 2-ply. One of the plies is the plastic, the plarn, and the other ply is just that cotton thread. And that's what it looks like. The gray stripes that you see through there are random gray plastic bags. And I ended up with 144 yards of this 50% recycled plastic, 50% cotton yarn, sustainable yarn. It's artisanal. I was going to say artisanal. Y'all was going to see my country come out. Anyway, so now I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that yarn. I'm still thinking I will do a like market bag or something, like one of those mesh crochet bags or something like that, but I'm not entirely sure. So I've also been thinking about maybe making something with this for my plant collection. I feel like the color just got really yellow. I don't know what that's about. White balance? No? Okay, it's fine. Who needs real colors? I've been thinking about maybe using this for something for my plants, but not sure. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, that every time I look at the screen, I'm just like, whoa, that's yellow. Oh well, it's fine. So that's everything for Kalisha and the Babe. I haven't started any new spins. I have been thinking about what next I want to do with fiber, and it's actually to add to my mermaid lock. Now, I was looking at my mermaid lock in the mirror, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I was thinking, I think I want to add something to it. Now, up until now, well, oh, hey, thank you for fixing the color. iPad. This is like a light green. It's so blown out. No, whatever. Just take my word for it. This is a light green, and then it goes into blue, like a tealy blue, and then it goes into a darker blue, and then purple, and then the purple fades into pink. And I was thinking I could go from pink and then into red and do a rainbow up, because I have this much more lock before it gets to my scalp. I'm not going to go all the way to the scalp because I feel like that would be doing the most. So I'd probably wrap to here. So I was talking to my friend Cherie, who I mentioned earlier, about the lock, and at the same time of wanting to add to it and make it even more colorful, I also want to cut like the fiber off, because as you can see, my mermaid lock is considerably longer than the rest of my locks, and that is because shrinkage. So this lock is being held perfectly straight and under like tension by the wraps that I put on it. The rest of my locks, you know, shrink back up, fluff up, and stuff like that. So I'm always like getting this lock caught on seats and stuff. Like if I lean back and then I move or something, it's getting pulled, and it's like, it's kind of an annoyance. So she suggested that I do a lock loop. So basically I could probably just use needle and thread and sew it into a loop like this, so it's the same length as my other locks, and then I could continue, you know, wrapping or whatever I wanted to do up that way. But I thought that'd be kind of cool. Really weird, but it's already rainbow lock, might as well be a rainbow loop lock. The sky's the limit, guys. And then I also considered starting a new one. So I may or may not start a new wool wrap lock because I can. And yeah. So yeah, that's like the next thing that I was really thinking about as far as jumping into my stash of fibers. Like, what fiber can I add into my hair? Because that's what you do. Evidently, that's what you do. Do you like my shirt? This is a volleyball shirt that my husband got for me. I do not play volleyball. I'm actually terrible. I'm not terrible at volleyball. I took a volleyball class in college and I passed. I don't remember if it was with an A, but I passed. And I learned how to serve the ball successfully over the net. That's all I wanted to do the whole class. I don't remember learning anything else, but I distinctly remember serving the ball overhand over the net. But my husband coaches high school volleyball, and so I get high school volleyball shirts for support. Okay, stash positions. I got Happy Mail slash a, this isn't a kit, what is it? I don't remember what the word is. I can't think of it right now. But basically, Lady Dye Yarns does different collections, like all the time. She always has various collections going on her site. And on my birthday, I went on her site, to see what there was, because it's my birthday. I'm going to go buy myself something. And she had a Juneteenth set coming out. Now, Juneteenth is, in a nutshell, a celebration of Black freedom. And it is June 19th, and that's the day that all of the slaves found out they were free. Because, it took a while to get over to Texas and let them know, yes, slavery is over, y'all. So, Juneteenth is, it's a celebration day for African Americans. And she had a collection. I cannot think of the word. It's not collection. It's not kit. Oh, maybe it is kit. It's fine. But here it is. So I bought it on my birthday and then promptly forgot about it until I got an email saying, it was like, your package from Lady Dye Yarn is prepared for shipping or something like that. And I was like, what? I didn't order anything from Lady Dye Yarn. And then I remembered that I ordered the Juneteenth kit. So I was like, oh, cool, yay. And this came, I think, last week. And what is in it is 400 yards of fingering weight yarn from Lady Dye Yarn. And it's her Cashmerino, Superwash Cashmerino base, which is 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. There is a project bag, also by Lady Dye Yarn, and then a button and a sticker by Cecilia Nelson Hurt, who is Creative Ceci on Instagram. There is a pattern by Shay Johnson, who is Knit and Crochet on Instagram. And that pattern is called the Jubilance Kerchief. When I got this in the mail, the pattern wasn't live yet. I don't think the pattern is going to be live until the 19th. So, yeah. So let me show you the yarn. Well, I'll pull everything out as it comes. So this is the project bag. Wakanda Forever. This is so real. I just want to live in Wakanda. I just want to live in Wakanda. But fun fact, I actually already have this project bag. So I think what I'm going to do with this one is turn it into a zipper bag. So I'm going to insert a zipper, box the bottoms, and I think I might even dye it. I think I might do that, like dye it red, black, and green. And if you do not know the significance of the red, black, and green colors to African Americans, you should Google that. Yes. So, Wakanda forever and ever and ever and ever. Here is the yarn. Well, I'll save the yarn for last because maybe the white balance will correct itself so you can actually see this yarn color. But this is the sticker by Creative Ceci. It says Juneteenth, Creative Ceci. And, oh, hello glare. The button is the same image. And, y'all, I really miss my afro. But it's okay. I'm not going to cut my locks off. I just miss having a big globe of hair. Because it was big. Oh, the color had just... Do I have to do this to make it fix? Oh. My hair helps it to fix the white balance. Hey. So let me show you why the white balance isn't trash. This is the yarn. So it is a... Oh my gosh. I'm sitting right underneath the light and it is very bright. So, okay, now everything is very yellow, but this is like a creamy white. This is like yellow and pink. So the pink kind of lightens up a little bit over here, so it's a little speckled. The yellow does the same thing. I actually haven't unwound this hank. Let's look at it. This really reminds me of pink lemonade. I really like lemonade, so there's that. Well, that's gonna be fun. Yeah. Oh, hey, there you go. Just hold it back here, Kalisha. Yeah. So like I said, that's her cashmere merino base. 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon. And the last thing in here is tea. It's strawberry black tea. And it's from Beantown Tea and Spices. Black tea, strawberries, natural flavors. So I actually haven't been drinking a lot of tea recently. I have been all about coffee because one of the positive outcomes of working from home is I have finally figured out how to make myself a cup of coffee that I really enjoy. So whenever we do go back to the office, I won't be making a daily pilgrimage to Dunkin' Donuts. So yes, that is my Juneteenth kit, my tea, my yarn, which I need to put back in the hank so I don't ruin it, my button and sticker. Another sticker that I don't know where to stick, and I'm gonna keep it until I figure out the perfect place. That's why I'm not a yarn dyer, because I can't skein yarn to save my life. One moment, talk amongst yourselves. It's very loose, but there you go. So I don't think I have anything else for stash positions. I told a lie right there. So one of the things that I like to do pre-Rona, pre-lockdowns, pre all of this, I am an avid thrifter, and I don't even have to find anything I want in the thrift store. Just being in the thrift store feels like I am decompressing. So when the thrift stores around here opened back up, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And the first time I went into a thrift store post shutdown was very stressful, because I felt like everything was going to kill me. But a lot of, well, the two thrift stores that I go to Goodwill, the Goodwill that's up the street from me, and a St. Vincent de Paul. And both of them have, like, put directions on the aisles of which way they want people to walk. Unfortunately, at the Goodwill, they do not enforce that. So it's I've been to the Goodwill one time since things started opening back up. And I was so stressed out. I have never been that stressed out in a thrift store before in my life. So I was just like, okay, I guess I'm just not going to be thrifting at Goodwill. But at St. Vincent de Paul, it's much smaller. And whenever anybody is like walking the wrong way, or they have like one aisle that's exit only, whenever someone starts looking like they're going to come up that aisle, they're like, excuse me, no, you need to go that way. And I really appreciate that, because I feel like it sets the expectations, right? So people know what is expected of them. They know that the establishment is keeping to it. And I'm the kind of person that if you put an arrow on the floor, I have a very hard time walking the opposite way. Like if you say you have to go, like entrance and exit doors, can't do it. Like I physically feel weird if I go in the exit door. I don't know if that's a weird thing, but whatever. So I went to St. Vincent de Paul today, and I wasn't planning to buy anything. I just wanted to like walk around. I was going to do a lap around the store, like deep breathing in my mask. We're okay. Like decompress, be in my own thoughts, because nobody talks to me in the thrift store, and I really appreciate that. But while I was there, aside from the fact that I found light bulbs, which, what? Like it was like they just got a whole donation of light bulbs. Like in the box, brand new light bulbs. That's fine. Thumbs up. But I found this. This is a woven basket. I forget the name of the, I think it's a co-op that does this. I believe they're based in Ghana, and the women who weave these baskets use this as a way to make money for their families. I have 3 of these baskets in my collection, and I just love them so much. So when I saw this one, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I picked it up. There was no price tag on it, and I was like, it doesn't matter what they charge me. Like this basket, I have seen them range from like $45 at the low end and up. So, I mean, it's not in the best condition. Obviously, it was sitting somewhere in the sun because the whole outside is bleached, but the inside is beautiful. So I wish I could turn it inside out, but I don't think I can. And the handle right here is broken. So I've got some work that I need to do on it. I need to soak it so that I can reshape it, because it's very out of shape. But I got up to the register and I said, the guy was like, oh, that's a nice basket. And I was like, yeah, it's really pretty. It doesn't have a price on it though. And he goes, $1.99. And I was like, sold. So this is like the best thrift value that I have found in quite some time. So I was very excited to come across this. So yeah, if you have any suggestions on how I can fix this, so it's so the inside of the handle goes across this way and then it's wrapped, the actual inside part is broken. The wrapping is fine. The inside, it's the inside part that's broken on it. And then the inside part on this side is also broken. So this whole handle side is compromised. So I need to figure out a way to either fix that or secure it to where it doesn't look like it's going to fall off or like fall apart, because I'm not going to be carrying this basket just like around. I'm not going to be like, I don't know, carrying laundry in it. Most likely this one will just be a sitting basket. I also thought about removing the handle completely, just like cutting it off and just having a bowl. That was also a thought. So if you know how I can fix that handle or like something I can do to fix that handle, let me know in the comments. Or if you think I should just chop the handles off and have a basket bowl, let me know in the comments. But I was very happy about this, so yay. Yeah. And this one, it's slightly bigger than the baskets that I have, so excited. I almost squealed in the thrift store. I had to be like, oh, Kalisha, play it cool. Play it cool. But yeah. But I think that's everything that I wanted to share with you guys. I did put in my notes to share the poems that I've been writing. Over the last couple of weeks, I wrote 4 poems. I was going to read them out loud, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I just don't feel like it. They're all on Instagram, so if you want to read the poems that I wrote, that's where you can find them. Yeah. I think that's everything. I am going to... I think I will do just a tiny bit of editing on here. Nothing fancy. I'm not going in. I'm not putting titles and animations and all that stuff. Yeah. I'm probably just going to cut out that section of me trying to reskein that yarn. If I did cut out that section, you're probably like, well, good job, Kalisha, you cut out that section. So that's everything, guys. Thanks for coming to hang out with me. Please leave a bright spot in the comments because it is really needed. It is really needed. Bright spots be something positive, something encouraging, something uplifting. Leave those things in the comments. Yeah. And thank you for being a part of my universe. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of your universe as well. Bye, friends.